What's up, everybody? It's Seth from Fun is Gaming. I'm here with a video on the Island Sanctuary for 6.2 in Final Fantasy XIV. Island Sanctuary is brand new and it has been a lot of fun. I've really been enjoying it over the last several days. Hopefully you've had a chance to check it out. But there are some tricks that I want to share with you today, some tips and things that I have learned through my time playing on the Island Sanctuary. I will say I'm not max level yet. There's still plenty for me to do, but I am level 8 and I'm working my way toward getting everything unlocked and finishing everything up on the island. But there are some things that I wish I had known along the way that would have made my Island Sanctuary experience a little bit better. And so I want to share those with you today. If you are interested in checking out more tips and tricks for Final Fantasy XIV and other games, please like this video, please subscribe to the channel. It will help me out a lot. Let's dive into our first tip. My first tip for you is to don't waste your calories. So there are two kinds of calories. There's the blue ones and the green ones. Make sure that the blue ones, Seafarer's calories, are things that you are using to upgrade your island. It is really tempting at first to buy the glamour, to buy the orchestrion scrolls and things like that. They are really cool, but don't use your calories on that if you are trying to upgrade your island as quickly as possible. These are in limited supply and they become harder to get if you are trying to progress quickly. And so don't spend them on the glamour and things like that right at first if you are trying to upgrade your island quickly. You get a lot of them at first, but you will need to spend a lot of them as you level up. So be mindful of that. My second tip for you, and this is something that was a big mistake that I made right at the start. Don't waste your time gathering tons and tons of resources at the very beginning of the Island Sanctuary. You do need to gather, obviously, to upgrade and build buildings and things like that, but you don't need a huge surplus of materials at the start. The reason is, as you advance and as you level up, you'll get new tools. And when you get these new tools, you're able to harvest 2 items from the nodes instead of just 1. And so if you waste a ton of time at the beginning, you're really not maximizing your time and your effort. And so if you're aiming for efficiency, hold off on gathering that surplus of island logs or whatever it is, and just wait until you upgrade your tools, and then you can get 2 items at a time. My third tip for you, and this is related to calories too, prioritize your workshops. Pretty early on, you're able to build on 2 plots, and for most people, you're probably going to build 2 workshops first. However, depending on the way you play and your pace, you could potentially build a workshop and a granary. But I would advise building 2 workshops with your first 2 plots, and then when you unlock your additional plots, go ahead and build a 3rd workshop. The reason why is that workshops generate calories while granaries spend them. Now, at some point you will need granaries, but you will get plenty of plots to be able to build both. And so for your first 3 plots, build 3 workshops. And then as you are using these workshops, you can choose the items that you are crafting, sending off to generate calories. Aim to get the bonuses. You do this by building items that are of a similar kind. So, for example, if you build 2 different items that are both in the furnishings category, you generate a bonus. But if you build the same item twice in a row, you don't get a bonus. So you do need to alternate between 2 items of the same category in order to get that bonus. But then for your 3rd, you can begin to repeat the pattern. And so aim to get that bonus because that's going to really help you generate more and more calories early on. And if you have your 3 workshops up and running, then each day you could be generating well over 1,000 calories with very little effort. And so aim to do that. Similarly, check the supply and demand from the workshop window. So you can talk to that little mammoth guy and see what's in demand, see what will be in demand, what is the supply presently, and try to kind of balance out what you are going to craft and send out to generate the most calories. Now, obviously, this is going to be something that is a long-standing aspect of our islands, and this is something I'm still working out. What are the best ways to approach this? But overall, check out that window, see what is available to you, what is in demand, what can you craft to generate the most calories. Also, it's important to just note that you do have to take 2 days of rest every week on your workshop, and so you want to consider that as well. On those days, you will not generate any calories, and so that's something to keep in mind as well. My fourth tip for you is to maximize stables. So one thing that I was doing early on is I was really excited to try to find these rare, different color variants of the island creatures. Well, honestly, that was wrong, because what you want to do is you want to maximize your stables. So at the beginning of the game, you can house 5 animals in your pasture, and then you can upgrade that to 10, then you can upgrade that to 20. As you do that, you want to fill that as much as possible and feed those animals, because feeding the animals is the only way to generate leavings, and the leavings are going to be really useful in building some pretty cool items as part of your workshops. You can also, if you're in a pinch and need just a few, you can actually trade the leavings in for more blue calories as well if you need just a few. But you definitely want to fill that out. If you have, let's say, 5 animals in your pasture and you capture a 6th, the game will give you the option of which animal you want to replace. And so you don't actually have to worry about not being able to capture more or anything like that. You can just release one of them that's currently in your pasture and add the newly captured one there. And so I was really making a mistake here by holding out for the rare spawn creatures. I wasn't maximizing my efficiency on the leavings the first day or so. Also related to capturing animals, you can use a capture device more than once if the animal does not disappear. I was very early on getting a message that, I failed to capture and I was just running away and I did not know. But you can actually use the net multiple times as long as the animal is still there. Now, at a certain point, they will vanish and, that time is done. This is especially important with the rare creatures, because if they disappear or if you fail to capture them, you do actually have to wait until the conditions are met for that to spawn again. And so that's something to keep in mind. And then my 5th tip for you is to understand your timers. Everything on the Island Sanctuary works on a timer, but they operate on different ones. And so first we'll start with the pasture. The pasture will generate leavings from all your fed animals every day at the time of the server reset. So you can check in game and check your local time to see when that is for you. But each day they'll have leavings. They only leave the leavings once per day though. So you will have to feed them and then wait again the next day in order to get more leavings. The cropland, if you start off with pumpkins, which is likely the first crop most people are going to plant, those take 2 real life Earth days to grow, even when they're watered. As far as I know, up to this point, there's no way to significantly speed that up or change that. But be sure you're watering your plants to get the growth after 48 hours. But once you plant them, 48 hours later, you can harvest. Next, understanding the timers of your creatures throughout your island. So the creatures throughout the island, particularly the rare spawns, seem to be on a timer that is tied to the Eorzea time in game, as well as the weather that is in the game. And so there are a ton of great resources that are available. People have been kind of writing down the conditions that they have been under when they found these different creatures. And so you can, I'm sure, Google that and find that. I think the community is still working out some of those details. And so over the next couple of weeks, we'll probably have more information about that. And then my last little tip for you is understanding the timers on the nodes. And this is not tied to time. It's not tied to any kind of Eorzea days or anything like that. It's simply based on the number of nodes you gather. So after you've gathered 10 nodes, once you gather your 11th node, that first one will refill, and it continues that cycle. And so if you're trying to harvest quickly, or if you are trying to get some XP to level up, find nodes that are close together so that you can quickly gather from those nodes. Now, obviously using your island sprint and using your mount are going to help you get around your island more quickly, but finding the nodes that are close together is really going to be key to harvesting these nodes very quickly. So those are tips that I wish I had known when I was getting my island sanctuary started. Hopefully these are helpful to you. I hope that you are enjoying your island sanctuary. It's something that I'm really enjoying so far, and hope that we get additional content added to this in the future. I think it will be a ton of fun. It's a really nice change of pace from grinding in dungeons and grinding tomestones and all those things. So enjoy your island sanctuary. It's a great time. Have fun. Let me know if you have tips to share down in the comments below, and let me know if you found this helpful. Hope that you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.